So a report just came out a few minutes ago. The Philadelphia 76ers will not be paying 2.5 the quarter of his salary that they owe him today. The Sixers have fired their shot back, and we'll get into everything that this means about the situation moving forward. Let's talk about it.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB, where we constantly talk Philly sports. You know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that little bell. That way you are updated instantly anytime we drop content or go live. We'll be covering the rest of training camp, and we have our first preseason game on Monday that we will be doing, so I am very, very excited. And just a few minutes ago, we'll get right into this. Shams drops a bomb, pretty much what we would expect, I think, right, based off of what Daryl Morey said, you know, days ago in his media day press conference, that the Sixers are going to have to handle this the way that it's stated in the CBA. He pretty much said, we're going to find this guy. And Shams says here, sources, Sixers will not pay 2.5. His $8.25 million payment, by the way, 25% of his salary this year. As the three-time All-Star awaits a trade, 2.5 is still not showing up to Philly and has understood the ramifications of his holdout. By the way, 2.5 even liked a picture on Instagram where somebody had posted the amount of fines that I had discussed, I think, a couple days ago in our training camp video for day one. It's crazy that this guy's literally watching this. He's literally just scanning the entire field and watching this play out on social media and still sits there and does nothing about it. But Shams pretty much says that, you know, he understands the ramifications. I'm sure this is his agency, Clutch Sports, trying to hold firm, right? The Sixers make their shot back, and, you know, they're out here and they're just going to wait for a trade. But anyway, going even further on that, there was this report from Brian Windhorst and Bobby Marks pretty much saying that the Sixers have not paid him, obviously, the $8.2 million he was owed today. He did receive the first $8.2-something million payment that was owed to him back in July before all this happened, but today the Sixers are not paying him. And apparently this money has been put in an escrow account, which, you know, held to the side, and any fines accrued by him for not showing up going forward will be deducted from that amount moving forward. So they're going to keep it in a separate account. I even heard that the money, if it doesn't end up going to him, will go to charity. That's pretty crazy as well. But yeah, so we're just going to hold this aside, and just to clarify, it is kind of a withhold instead of a technical loss. So if he does show up, you know, he does get that money credited to his account. So that's something to keep your eye on. And something also that was very interesting that came out just a little while before this from Jake Fisher, who has been, you know, doing great on the NBA coverage this offseason. This was kind of a bit of something on the opposite side. But listen, the Sixers will indeed not pay 25% of his salary due today, according to league sources. And there are now growing whispers that 2.5 could respond by actually reporting to Philadelphia, albeit maintaining he is injured. And if you go on to read that piece, pretty much he could come back and say, you know, I'm dealing with a back issue. I'm dealing with an ankle, a knee, something like that. So, you know, this is an entire just whirlwind here, and it just continues. It just like I tried to tell you a few days ago, I would not be talking about this, and you know, it's just every day a new major report comes out, and again, it's just tiring. It's frustrating. Now, obviously, we still have other parts of training camp today, and I think I'm going to cover today and tomorrow in a joint episode. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a live stream, but today this has stolen the entire show. We haven't even heard anything else, and I just want to give my quick thoughts. So, if I had to lean towards one of these sides, I don't think 2.5 is going to show up for this game Monday. I don't think he's going to come out of the woodworks and just be there and be present, because what that would stir up would be absolutely just insurmountable, and he doesn't want that pressure. He doesn't like this. Now, at the same time, I'm also going to say, I just think it's absolutely pathetic. Like, you know, as much as I don't like this guy right now, let's be honest, okay? The best thing for him to do for his career would be to show up, you know, kind of just answer the questions, maybe a little bit of like I'm just here so I don't get fined. Show up, show your value, right? Show some of these things you're doing in the off season, and, you know, just show us what you can do, right? And then help us facilitate a trade. We'll help you get you wherever you want to go, and we'll get our return back once your value is back up, right? Like, that would be the logical thing to do here because it would help out both people. But instead, it really strikes me as like, I don't want to keep harping on the same thing, but this guy has no dog in him, right? He has no competitor. This guy is literally willing to give up $8.2 million. I don't know if any of us have ever touched $8 million, but think about it, $8 million just by not showing up to training camp or media day, and he's going to miss $300,000 when we get into the regular season. Like, really? Per game? You know, I mean, you just come back, you work with us, and you get traded. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Like, this guy, and again, with all these things coming out, like, you're not the victim, bro. I mean, $8 million just to continue this, and Rich Paul is going to be stubborn. Like, do you really think this is going to get you what you want? I just think it's absolutely crazy, and I really do think this guy has lost a lot of respect from maybe some other executives, maybe some other stars around the league. Like, this is just crazy, man. I mean, it's not like you were here. It's not like we're a 10 seed. It's not like, you know, you were the only good player on this team. Like, no, we were a 1 seed last year, and all of this because we criticized you because you can't shoot. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable, man. But going forward, if I had to lean, like I said, I don't think he's going to show up. I think this is going to continue to get messy and scrappy. And here's what I will predict. I would love to hear what everybody else thinks, but I think in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, as we get very, very close to the season, I think if he is still not here, Adam Silver is going to have private meetings, maybe with the Sixers ownership, maybe with, you know, Rich Paul, and because, you know, 2-5, he doesn't care. Okay, I'll just put it out there. He doesn't care. He lets his representation handle everything for him. He's just out there chilling, having a good life in LA. That's what he's doing. But yeah, honestly, I just think that Adam Silver will step in, and, you know, at the end of the day, he's probably going to try to work something out where it's like, okay, you know, you need to do this. You need to show up. They might try to work like some buyout clause or some, you know, just something between the lines, or just bending around the rules or something. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, this is going to really affect, not only is this so selfish for him, but to walk away from a contract with 4 years remaining on it, it's going to absolutely blow out of proportion the future NBA landscape, right? Because these owners are going to be stingy. The new CBA is going to have to put in a bunch of clauses, and future guys trying to get their paydays are not going to be able to do so easily. Other guys who might be on lesser contracts, 1-year deals, they're going to have a tough time getting their money. And there's just not going to be anything really guaranteed. And it's just going to really, really mess everything up, because at the end of the day, you know, a star next year, the year after, if 2-5 gets what he wants, another star can do the same thing in his own organization. And the team essentially has to walk through. We're probably going to have to go through this at the end of the day, not getting the compensation we may want, unless we hold on and somehow we find a way to make amends. But, I mean, we're just going to have to move on, and, you know, another star can do that and mess up another team's situation. And it's very frustrating, and I'm glad that the guys who are at camp aren't letting this kind of intertwine with them. I'm glad Joel spoke the facts yesterday. And all we can really do is just wait and see what happens. But this is so messy. It never had to be like this. Even if you wanted to facilitate a trade, you could have done it behind closed doors, open communication. You could have came during that meeting that you had with the Sixers and said, you know what, I don't fit, even though we don't agree. I don't fit, and, you know, let's work on something here. But no, you blew it out into the open airwaves, and look at what's happened now. You even got Stephen A. once again hitting the nail on the head when it comes to 2-5. Pretty much saying, again, you're not the victim. So when push comes to shove, here we are. A few days from the first preseason game and just a couple weeks away from the season opener. Who will bite? Who will give up first? Who knows? But the Sixers, once again, we're in round 6. The Sixers hit them with a right hook. Stay tuned on Keeping Up with 2-5. to see what happens next time. Those are just my thoughts. Unprecedented, man. Uncharted waters. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Like always, appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.